and make the better of the two alternatives. So there are many approaches there. But when two dharmas clash, then we have a dharma sankat. Until we become clear which is a larger dharma, which is a smaller dharma, therefore we have to sacrifice one of them and prevail with the other. Now, last time, Dr. Gupta made the suggestion that we should give more opportunity for young audience to participate. I would be quite happy to do that. And I invite those of them who have in their life faced some dharma sankat and resolved it to share that experience, or they're facing it now, or they have seen someone in their family or among their whatever arena in which you have come across this idea of dharma sankat and how it was resolved, whether you agree with it or not, we can go over it again. The way somebody has done it is not necessarily perfect, not necessarily ideal. That is the whole idea of a case study, that you can revisit and make your own analysis and come up with a solution which will be better than what the management did sometimes in some areas. So if there are, I have with me 3 classic dharma sankats that I can explain, but I'd first like to give opportunity to our own real dharma sankats and deal with it. We can wait for a couple of minutes. There will be some silence in this. You may there are 47 participants now. That's very good. So you may send your dharma sankat to the chat box or ask to speak and speak up. Like they say in quiz, your time starts now. 2 minutes. डॉक्टर गुप्ता, आपने ये सजेशन दिया था, देखिए आप हम अभी धर्म संकट में हैं, क्या करना है?
I think we'll have to call out their names and ask them to speak.
All right. Bhavna, you know all the participants. Can you identify some good resources there and call upon them to speak? Bhavna, did you hear me?
Am I audible, sir?
Yeah. Did you hear me now? A little while ago.
Yes. Yes, okay. Sir. I can hear you. So I was sharing. Can we start with Tarun, sir?
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Yeah. Sir, I don't have any personal and professional one, but a very recent one, which I faced 2 days back only. One challenge, which I feel a major, major dharam sankat for myself. Abhi kya hua, sir? In general, a sister-in-law of mine that she had an engagement, and yesterday only. So 2 days before, my wife, she mentioned to me like the date has been finalized now, and we will be going for this function. So I was very, since I was affected by COVID, and in the first wave, my wife was affected by COVID. So we were really scared and nervous, like we should not visit in this tough time. We should avoid public gathering and the crowd gathering. But initially I denied, but later last 2 days I was struggling, and we had internal argument in the family. So my wife, she said that whether you allow or not, I'll be going there. So then I stepped back, and I discussed with my parents. So my parents said that you should go. Yes, it is a challenging thing, but you should go. So then we finally decided, yes, we should visit that function. And yesterday we visited and participated in that event. So the Dharam Sankat was like in this tough time, you should not generally participate in such event, but because of it was family commitment, so we had to visit.
All right. This is a very interesting problem. COVID gives a lot of dharma sankat.
Yes,
Very live, real problem that Tarun has proposed, and he's described it very nicely. Can we as a group analyze it? May I call upon some of the other youngsters? If you're in Tarun's position, how will you look at it, analyze the situation? What are the options? What are the pros and cons? And what will you decide? I can give a Vyakhyan immediately, but we'd like to hear from you.
Bhavna, name some people ना, नाम लो भावना.
हमेशा
We
को
are
बोलो.
having Megha.
Who?
So Megha is here.
Mega, yes, okay. Mega, for you, it's a very interesting opportunity. It's a good live case study. What is your thinking on this Dharma Sankat that Tarun has presented?
Sir, he rightly mentioned that he had two options, either to think about priority of health issues or thinking about personal thing like options for attending that function or not. So that was a choice to be made by him, and he made it his choice to attend the function. So I believe I would have done that same to have a peaceful time ahead for a longer time.
So what would you have done?
Sir, I would have done the same thing.
The same thing, gone for the Sagai?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anybody else?
Sir,
Anybody else who disagrees with what Tarun and his wife did?
Sir, I had a similar incident last year when my co-brother expired due to COVID,
Okay.
and in Dehradun. And that was the peak time of first wave where all of us were so scared to step out of the house. So for the 13 days, we were in a dilemma whether to go there or not to go there to express our grief. And we couldn't muster the courage to go even for the 13th day. But then, because fearing that a lot of people will be there and we might not create a situation where either we are affected or we cause someone to be affected. And even the RT-PCR tests were supposed to be negative. We were even afraid to get tested. I mean, that was the fear at that time. But then to resolve our Dharma Sankat, we went immediately after the 13th day, I mean on 14th or 15th day, to express our grief. We started early in the morning, reached there, stayed with them for about 1.5 hours and came back the same day with the utmost precaution so that we neither are affected ourselves nor affect them. We didn't even stay on the way anywhere. We had our arrangements of sanitization, food and everything. We didn't even stop at the, so it was continuous 12 hours drive both ways and 1 hour staying there. So that is how we could.
And they did not mind that you came on the 14th day. They were not unhappy. They were not angry at you.
They were not unhappy, but they were trying to understand. I mean, of course, they would have liked us to go earlier, but then they also appreciated the situation. And my other co-brother who was in Chandigarh, he also couldn't go there, so we asked him also to come on the same day, that so that we could express our grief.
After you
together.
visited them, both you and your other co-brother, on the 14th day,
Yes, sir.
within the next 2-3 weeks, did anybody get an infection?
No, sir.
So it has been a happy ending.
Yes.
You've been very careful for the first 13 days.
Yes, sir.
And then went on the 14th, and the other party did not blame you, and it is an amicable resolution. So
Yes,
this
sir.
Dharam Sankat has been resolved in a mature way.
Yes.
Anybody else in the audience? Thank you, Dr. Gupta. What would you have done in Tarun's situation?
I am S.K. Gupta, sir. It was me, sir, Suresh Gupta, not Dr. Gupta.
No, it is day 1 or 2. Both you and your wife have COVID, and there is a
Okay.
saga in the family. आप जाएंगे क्या नहीं?
सर आप मुझे पूछ रहे हैं?
नहीं, एसके गुप्ता जी।
हाँ, जो सुधीर जी जो अभी देहरादून की बात कर रहे थे ना, उनका
हाँ सुरेश जी।
SK Gupta, sir.
हाँ सुरेश जी
Yeah,
आपसे पूछ रहे हैं
Suresh
सर।
Gupta. Yeah, I would have avoided going there, sir,
हाँ,
during this time, because this is the
हाँ,
time.
हाँ,
This is the time when
हाँ,
we have to be at most. I mean, I would have tried to convince my wife and my relatives that you should be on the right side of the caution during this time, because no one is immune to the infection at this point of time.
See, Mega, you see a different, you agreed with Tarun. Now here is a different view that we have to be responsible. And what Tarun completely left out, not what he and his wife are feeling, but what the other people there are feeling. Are there some of them there who we desire that Tarun and his wife need not come? They are in danger. So we should think of the host also, the safety of the host, and maybe check with them. ये हमारा ये चिंता है कि आप क्या चाहते हैं? And they say no, हम समझते हैं तो वैसे ही रहिए. ये तो बहुत भीड़ होगा, 50-100 लोग आएंगे और स्प्रेड करने का खतरा है. They may tell you, they may resolve your dharma sankat.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sir, can I add something in this?
Yes, please.
Anurag,
It's
Anurag,
completely
sir.
open. Yeah, I'm
Yes,
only
sir.
filling in the gaps.
Yes, sir. तो सर बेसिकली इसमें धर्म संकट जो है वो फैमिली के बेनिफिट के लिए ही है। तो सर का जो सिचुएशन है उसमें दोनों केस में धर्म संकट अपने फैमिली को प्रोटेक्ट करने का ही है। तो अगर एक तरफ जाएंगे तो इट वुड बी लाइक सर के जो इन लॉज होंगे वो खुश होंगे, बट सेकंड तरफ अगर नहीं भी जाएंगे तो भी वो उनके प्रोटेक्शन के लिए होगा। तो इन बोथ द सिचुएशन धर्म संकट विल बी बेनिफिशियल फॉर द फैमिलीज। तो कोई भी ऑप्शन वो लेंगे तो वो बेनिफिट ही करेगा दोनों मतलब फैमिलीज को। तो यही मेरा पॉइंट है।
Normal condition, it is all right. But during COVID, there is a special consideration. Supposing you are busy with work, you are simply unwell, normally not highly infectious, then you can make a decision to go or not to go, and the other party may say. But with COVID, even if the other party insists and invites, it is your dharma to say, I should not come. It is bad for you.
But sir, yes, sir. Sir, but Tarun Dharam Sankat was his wife. So how to handle that, Shakti?
Okay, that's a very difficult one. But I have an answer. But if anyone in the group would like to analyze it, I'm not ducking the problem. I'm not like a politician avoiding a journalist question. But anyone in the group would like to comment on it. What should Tarun do with his wife?
May I say something?
Yeah, yes, Dr. Sudhir, yes.
Yeah, sir, मुझे लगता है कि being a doctor, I think we should use logic here instead of emotions. So in any situation, whenever we are stuck between emotions and logic, I strongly feel we should go with logic, especially in a situation which can put someone's life into danger. The people who are there, they have already suffered. Like Tarun was saying that he has suffered from COVID recently. So if he feels that he might give it to someone else, or in any case, the recommendations are to avoid any kind of gatherings. So there may be anybody who is a carrier there, and he can infect other people. Maybe not them, maybe someone else. So I think it is more logical to avoid such situations of crowd.
Right.
Although we have to, at times we have to, forego such logic when the things are not really in our hands or the situation is emergency or something like that. Like me being a doctor, I do visit hospitals at time. Although I'm working mostly from home right now, but once in a while for some very specific reason, we have to visit hospitals even, which are most dangerous places today. So I would suggest that this Dharam Shankar should be resolved by going with logic instead of emotions.
So you agree with me that we should go by the medical logic in this case?
Absolutely, sir.
That not put the other party. One of the participants had in the chat box put exactly this suggestion that we should go by doctor's advice in such situations. So consult your GP or whoever, the doctor, sir, is it safe for me to go, or is it safe for them? And our expectation is that he will normally advise you not to take that risk. But let us come to this question, that even if Tarun agrees with you, Dr. Sudhirji, but his wife doesn't agree and she has zigged and says, I will go whether you come or not, तब क्या करना है?
So this is typical like Shiv Parvati, sir, कि जब पार्वती जी को जाना नहीं था, सती को जाना नहीं था, बट फिर भी गई वो अपने पिता के यज्ञ में, दक्ष जो उसके पिता थे, शंकर जी ने मना कर दिया था।
नहीं, वो ठीक एनालॉजी नहीं है इसमें। वो ठीक है, वो दोनों बहुत प्रेम करते थे आपस में, लेकिन ये उसको लगा कि मेरे पिता मेरे पति को रेस्पेक्ट नहीं कर रहे, तो जाके उनसे पहले एक रिक्वेस्ट करना है, देखना है। तो her father was so arrogant that he overruled her and would behave very badly. Only then Shiva was angry, very angry. She committed suicide, as you know.
Sir, can I add something?
Yes, please. Abhinav.
Okay. Yes, sir. So what I believe that if like Tarun sir's in-laws invited them, so they were aware कि they both are recovered. So I guess एक ही धर्म संकट था कि अगर उन्हें पता होता है they both are COVID positive, so वो invite नहीं करते. But they have invited, so they have respected that feeling कि they should be there in this in this celebration. So that's why they invited. So ये भी एक धर्म संकट था कि ऐसे टाइम पे जब हम लोग कोविड पॉजिटिव नहीं है and they invited us, तो उस टाइम पे उन्हें भी वो रिस्पेक्टर का obviously knowledge होगा, they were aware. तो I guess तरुण सर ने अगर कुछ जो किया है, तो जो मेरे हिसाब से शायद मैं भी यही करता, if I would have been COVID positive and then recovered, तो अगर रिस्क फैक्टर उन्हें पता है still they are inviting, so I would have been gone, sir.
Tarun had not recovered. He and his wife had just got the infection, right? Day 1, day 2.
They recovered, sir. Recovered, sir.
Fully recovered.
Yes,
He
sir.
was recovered, sir, but his wife had got infection last year, not this year. Is that right, Tarun?
Yes, sir, absolutely
Yeah.
correct.
So she's always vulnerable even today.
I think सिद्धार्थ जी कुछ बोल रहे हैं, सिद्धार्थ जी.
So my point is everybody is missing out the moot point. We are talking about Tarun, but we are not looking at the bigger problem here.
Yeah, everybody else. Yes.
And the bigger problem here is the event itself. Now the importance is of the ceremony or the function, not inviting too many people. The same ceremony could have happened between 2 people, 4 people, rest everybody viewing on Zoom, rest everybody is giving their blessings on Zoom. So if I would have been at Tarun's place, forget wife or anything, I would have gone to the moot problem, because not only.
So your solution, let me put it, is that Tarun should have advised his brother-in-law and his family to keep it a small crowd and not to create dharma sankat by a lot of people by inviting them.
Absolutely.
Now, Tarun, did you try that?
No. Yes, sir. I tried that. Even the crowd was not in that number, so there were hardly 20 members. 10 from our side.
40 is very huge.
20, sir. 20.
20. I'm saying that the bride, the groom, the prospective bridegroom and their parents. That's about it.
Six maximum.
People. Six
So
people.
there are 3-4 siblings also in the family, so they were also part of this event. So like from both the side, their parents and
अगले बार करो, अगले बार अगर कोई भी any participant, my suggestion is in future if such events arise, you try your best, don't fight, don't shout, but in a calm and sattvic manner advise them that it is better. They may or may not listen, but you persist, and you say that in any case I will not come, I will not bring my wife with me. This way we should try and persuade and make them aware. This is our duty. And Dr. Gupta?
Yes, sir.
We should make an effort. कोशिश तो करना है.
Yes, sir.
वो सुने ना सुने वो दूसरी उनकी मर्जी है. हाँ.
Sir, right
But
here,
also you should be willing, Dharma Sankat, you should pay a cost. You should be willing that for 3 months, 6 months, they will be angry with you. बात नहीं करेंगे, फोन नहीं करेंगे, कोई बात नहीं. ठंडा हो जाएंगे. ये तो जान का सवाल है.
सर
So
वो तो
there,
ठीक
there
है,
are
but
times when you must take a
external
firm.
parties will be settled down, but how to deal with wife in that case?
All right. You see, I know a case where the daughter married someone out of the community. The wife was very unhappy, naturally. She said, I will not go. A very difficult situation. So the husband asked me, we discussed it. I told him, what is the choice? You either stay with your wife at home and you let your daughter be married without anyone from the family, like a girl on the street. What is the relative merit of these two? And he said, he told his wife that whether you come or not, I will go and perform the marriage. That is my responsibility as a father. So there are times when you have to also take a firm stand. If you want to go, you go. I'm against it, but I will not come. What do you think, the group?
I think that's a very good approach, sir. Absolutely. You cannot ignore your responsibility.
Yeah, yeah.
And that is your dharma to do that.
We have to be firm.
Yeah.
That is, पति पत्नी प्रेम ये नहीं कि हमेशा हम एग्री करें. So we have to educate each other, correct
Correct.
each other.
Absolutely.
Also. That is the Vibhishan, there is a famous shloka in the Ramayana. He tells Ravana, some of you may know it. I'll first say it in Sanskrit, very simple Sanskrit, and translate it. Sulabhaha Purushaha Rajan Satadam Priyavadinaha. हमेशा मीठी बात करने वाले बहुत हैं. अप्रियस्य च पत्यस्य. That which is not dear to you, you don't like to hear, but patya, like medicine. Bhakta shrota acha durlabha. That is to someone giving kadua advice is rare, and somebody listening to it even rarer.
Absolutely.
Krishna's advice is सीता को लौटा दो, लंका को बचाओ, अपने को बचाओ. रावण तो सुनने वाला नहीं था. वो बहुत खतरनाक परिणाम हुआ इसका. So I think constructive conflicts. Marriage cannot be conflict free. It cannot be always peaceful. On important moral issues, dharma issues, we should raise the, confront the conflict and resolve. Later on, you can make amends. You can buy a nice sari. You can buy a gold necklace. लेकिन उस वक्त ठीक decision लेना चाहिए. Any other youngsters?
I have Rishi.
What happened?
Okay, so we go to the next problem where we have dealt with one issue only so far, Tarun's Dharma Sankat, a real one, and connected with COVID. Anybody else would like to present their Dharma Sankat? We go to a new problem. It is 4:30. We've spent 20 minutes on the first one.
Sir, it proves Lakshaya's point in the beginning that Dharma Patni could be Dharma Sankat also.
No,
I mean,
this is
is
never a Dharma Sankat. No.
This issue which Tarun raised.
No, one person is not.
In a lighter vein, sir. In a lighter
Right,
vein.
okay. Events create Dharma Sankat. One person is not always creating Dharma Sankat. Sometimes you are creating Dharma Sankat. For example, Lakshay, Tarun's wife loves him very much, and one day he's running 101 degree temperature, and he's still saying that I must go to office, important work. And she says, no, you should not go, it will get worse. And he comes home in the evening at 103. She'll still look after him. But the advice was ignored, good advice.
We can take it the Dharam Sankat from the center managers now, sir.
Okay. Yeah, I am ready. I'll hear anyone.
Tarun, can you name some center manager?
Sir, may I add? I had this wedding, I think in December last year. So me and my wife decided not to go. So as you said, sir, some of the relatives are not happy that, and they have stopped talking to us for like last 6 months. So, but we were like pretty sure we don't want to infect others and we don't want to infect ourselves. So that is the price we are paying for being logical and, taking care of ourselves. So. Right?
Yeah, I'm not going to analyze it first. Any one of you, what is your response? So Dr. Gupta, participation takes a little time, needs patience, waiting.
No, sir, I was thinking that if in all the situations we will not go on talking, then you know.
Yeah.
No, I think this is absolutely correct in context of this COVID times. They have done an absolutely right thing, and this not some people not talking to them and all. I think they must have all understood by now. So whenever there is a situation or possibility of their talking back, or if Himanshu I think calls them or something for something, I think they will respond, because everyone now understands the seriousness of COVID. It is after first wave, many people thought that it was not that big, but after second wave, I think most of us have understood that it is not something to be taken lightly.
Yeah, second wave has been a very serious problem and great lesson in Dharma. The whole world was very surprised, and both the rest of the world, journals like Lancet, very reputed medical journal, and of course the opposition parties, the press in India, everybody criticized Modi and the government for being negligent and careless, being overconfident at the end of COVID-1. And for the world, it was a surprise to see India go from top to bottom. Maximum number of infections, deaths, bodies burning everywhere, floating in the Ganga. The only country which was happy on this was China. So now we are handling COVID-2 a little bit like the Indian cricket team. We always do badly on the first innings and try to do very well in the second innings. So we are doing a real action, and we are preparing better for COVID-3, which may come, which may affect children and so on. But the cost we paid for little negligence. So now you might see that whenever you make a cell phone call, first this message comes. These three dharmas of COVID, बच के रहिए, अगर बहुत जरूरत ना हो घर से बाहर मत जाइए, 2 गज दूर, mask वगैरह. So they are reminding us. So I think in this, in any such situation, it may be COVID today, it may be some other pandemic tomorrow. We are into the age of pandemics. So Swast, Jeevan, that they should get for a top priority, because Muhurt will keep coming. We can do events later on. So I think anyone in the family should have this maturity and advise others. And to perform dharma, you have to risk unpopularity for a short while.
So we are talking of celebrations, but there have been occasions when somebody has died and people could not go to the cremation even. Because they let the logic prevail over emotion.
My brother-in-law, 92, died in Chennai, and his son told me that the hospital would not let him bring the body home. It went straight from the hospital in the ambulance to the cremation ground. Only he was allowed to go with the body and perform the last rites.
It has happened in our family.
His uncles, nobody can accompany him, which is normal in our smashan. So I think we have to be extremely careful. Even from the dead body, infection can spread.
That time it becomes a real Dharam Sankat. You know, it's your duty that one should be present at that particular occasion.
Normally we will. Normally we will. But under this condition, we should be very firm.
The treatment was delayed. You are listening to this.
Can you speak a little louder?
Cannot hear you, sir.
Shall we go to next one?
Yeah. So, sir, if we just analyze the discussion till now, what we had, I think we can, what I'm able to perceive is that the Dharam Sankat, the definition is that either it is between the two duties that we have to choose and we get confused, or it is between the logic and the emotions that we have to choose. So I think this we have to find a formula that which one we have to choose when there are
logic and emotion is a normal conflict, not always a dharma sankat.
Yeah.
Logic and emotion has to be resolved by the buddhi. The buddhi should enforce the logic over the emotion. That what is the right thing to do, reason-based, data-based. So that is not always dharma sankat. In dharma sankat, two dharmas clash. Yes, Lakshay had the dharma that he should attend the sagai of a brother-in-law in his wife's family. That is one dharma. The other is not to infect people with COVID and themselves not get complicated in the process. So in that case, the higher dharma of health of people concerned and their own should prevail. The logic and emotion will always happen. There, I think the buddhi, wisdom, the manas is emotional, the buddhi is logical, and the logic should prevail.
And so the major dharma sankats arrive because of principle, principle, whether you give a bribe or you wait for things to happen. Several times in our careers, it has happened.
Okay.
To expedite a particular certificate or compliance or whatever, you want to take a short route or you want to go through the proper channel. So that becomes a dharma sankat several times.
Mm-hmm.
Also, so many times it happens, well, if there is a conflict with labor, although you are there as the custodian of the wealth of the promoter and the stakeholders, but at times, if you have to, the demands are so unacceptable that if you agree, the company will sink. If you don't agree, then there's a problem. There is another type of sankat, there will be a strike and things like that. So these are practical things which...
Yeah, true. In all those cases, you have to finally resolve it and arrive at a decision.
Right. But then again, sir, with me...
I agree. Let me give you some examples. I have seen situations in Bengal and Maharashtra and in the public sector where the management goes on conceding to a strong union, a powerful union. But there will come a point where you cannot concede anymore. You have to confront. There will be some cost of strike. You will do a lockout. So at some point, you have to take a confrontation, even with Datta Saman.
Correct.
At some point, or George Fernandez. I have dealt with some biggest leaders in Steel Authority with Pandey, CPM, Gaya Singh, CPI. So somewhere you have to confront. But there is also a role for government to create conditions where such dharma sankats do not arise.
Right.
And improve the condition for doing business, ease of business. And now I think some of this is happening. For example, in income tax, the computerization, there has been a great improvement.
Oh, sure. Absolutely.
Yeah, in self-assessment and online assessment, without face resolution. So government is using direct delivery.
Technology is also helping.
Technology is helping, yes. So,
sir, I have a very personal thing to seek your advice on. Basically, if I generally tend to revisit my decision. After I've taken a decision, I feel, well, during my times in JCT, we had a big strike in Mohali. And there was a big union leader, like you mentioned, George Fernandez, his lieutenant. This guy was Nagpal, the railways union leader. He was over HMS union there. So out of some confrontation which happened, I declared a lockout, in which the workers suffered a lot. But later on, I was not able to sleep well for many days. Should I have done it? Should not I have done it? So that revisiting was a pain in my,
there'll be pain. But one thing that you could have done and all management should do we should move from industrial relations to what is called employee relations.
Yes,
the reason why
exactly.
union becomes strong, management leaves a vacuum, a gap in communication.
Right.
So the quality of your HR function should be that we are constantly in touch with the employees,
Right.
remove their grievances in advance,
Yeah.
redress the grievances. So I think if management has goodwill, the union cannot always do what it wants.
Yes.
So we should build that as well.
Yes.
And once you have taken a decision to lock out, don't regret it. Don't.
Okay.
It had to be done.
Yeah.
Hoga to hoga. Then you can make amends to workers when the peace returns.
Yes.
You can talk to them. Good workers will understand. Saab, aapka koi dusra rasta nahi tha. Some of them don't agree with the aggressive union leader.
Correct.
Yeah.
I did, sir. Later on, then we gave them a compensation package after the thing was resolved. After about 6-7 months, then we gave them
we can make amends.
Yeah.
So there are two roles here. The role of us as citizens is dharma palan, to follow dharma. The role of the government is the dharma samsthapana, establishing dharma.
Right.
And some state governments do it very well.
Yeah.
Some departments of government do it very well. Some don't. Some district magistrates are very good in establishing dharma within the district. So the Raja has the duty of dharma samsthapana, and the Praja has the duty of dharma palana. And sometimes our industrial associations are doing a very good job. CII, FICCI, ASSOCHAM, dialogue with government, presenting these problems, and together arriving at solutions. I think the relationship between government and business has improved a great deal from the days of Nehru and Indira Gandhi, where it was an adversary relationship.
Right.
Now it's business-government partnership.
Correct. There's a huge lot of potential of improvement.
People like Tarun Das and Ratan Tata, they made a big improvement. Even now, government seeks suggestions from.
Every year, sir, before the budget, every association is invited.
Whatever it is, following dharma will cause some pain, but not following it would have caused even more pain.
Bigger pain, yeah.
That's it. We have to make a choice.
Yes. You're absolutely right, sir.
Yeah. Any other comments?
See, generally, sir.
Let me just briefly, would you like me to deal with the three classical examples from our Itihas and Puranas?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
One is a very famous Dharma Sankat that Arjuna faced at the beginning of the chapter, and it's a very serious one. There are two choices: whether he should not kill his own cousins, relatives, teachers like Dronacharya, seniors like Bhishma, and that is one dharma, that not acting against all of them, that relationships and relatives and so on. The other is that adharma of course, Duryodhana, protecting the people of Hastinapur and ensuring that adharma is defeated and dharma is established, that Dharmaputra is on the throne rather than Duryodhana. That the Kshatriya dharma, that you must fight the war.
Yeah.
The personal dharma, that you must be good to your relatives. And the reality is that Pandavas tried very hard for peace, tried long negotiations. Sri Krishna went as their Shanti Dut. Even then peace could not come. So at the end of all those efforts, that is, you should not go to war in a hurry, in haste, at the very first thing. Try all efforts at peace. If it doesn't work, then you cannot run away from war. So Vajpayee used to quote this very well, na dainyam na palayanam. अगर माटी में उतरना है, जंग करना है, इससे पीछे नहीं हटना है. कारगिल में उन्होंने किया. He fought a very fierce war in Kargil. Initially he was surprised, but we lost lives, but Pakistan lost more lives. But that is one. That is Krishna's advice to Arjuna, that you must perform your dharma as a Kshatriya, as a leader, as a Pandava, and not be weak. Second is Rama's killing of Vali.
Oh, yes.
This is something that people have discussed. There in Dharma, there is some Tarkam, which is good, and there is some Kutarkam, which is bad. Wrong kind of arguments. So one argument people using against Rama is that he shot Vali from the back. Why did he do that? There is always a reason for it. Vali, you know, all the adharma he had done. Sugriva, his wife he had taken, he had thrown out Sugriva, so much of violence and dictatorship. And Wali had taken a boon from Rishi that his strength, anyone who opposes him in front of him will lose his strength.
Half of it will go to him.
Wali cannot be killed. So for Rama, it was a Dharma Sankar. Protect Sugriva's wife, and have Sugriva as an ally for the Lanka war, or shoot Wali from the back. So he finally resolved it, no doubt. So Wali had to go. Now Wali tells him, Rama, how could you shoot me at the back? And finally, in deathbed, Wali recognizes, Rama tells him that you have no right to talk about dharma. You have done so much adharma in your life. What nonsense you are talking dharma? We did not follow dharma at the right time. Then I would not have to do this. So Wali finally prays to Rama to give him moksha. It ends beautifully.
Yeah.
The third one is Vibhishan tries to advise Ravana. Ravana doesn't listen. Vibhishana comes to Rameshwaram, to Rama's army, and he seeks surrender, Sharanagati from Sri Rama. Sugriva, Hanuman, and many others advise Rama against it. He may be a spy, we don't know, he's pretending to be a Sharanarthi, dangerous. He may go back, he may give Ravana and his brothers all the secrets. Dharma Sankat for Rama, military strategy, or give abhayam to a person who has come as a refugee. So Rama makes the right decision that if anybody sincerely seeks Sharanam from me, I will give him protection. And Rama has the confidence that if he later makes any mischief, we'll take care of him at that time. But initially, we have to trust him and give him, and it turns out Vibhishana was very crucial in helping Rama to fight the war. He gave him many secrets of the Lankan army, Ravana and his brothers, how they fight, what are the Rastras, where to hit. Without that, Rama could not have won that war.
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay. Now, Rishi Atreya has put a very interesting point there. All of you can read that one argument is that Rama is a Kshatriya and Vali is a Vanar king, and a Kshatriya should not have a face-to-face fight with a Vanar king. He should just be able to command and the Vanar king should obey, which Vali did not. Therefore, he had to go, and then the method of killing does not make any difference. The decision is he has to go because he is uncontrollable. There's no way he will change, and he is hopeless. And if someone like him were alive, there will be more damage to the country, the people, to Sugriva, his allies. And Vali and Ravana are friends. So there is no way that Ravana can be controlled, or the Sri Lankan people can be saved. Yes, Shikaji. Not easy, yes. You may have read it on the screen. That Shikaji's point is that who said it is easy? It is not easy. In fact, you must have heard the quote, life is not a bed of roses. It has roses and thorns. So we have to deal with both. But I think the answer here is given in the Gita and the Upanishads. Repeated practice, abhyas. Yeah, first few times it will be difficult. Then it will become easier and easier for you. And there is a very short line from the Gita, Yat agre vishamiva. At the beginning, it is like poison. Pariname amritopamam. As you practice it towards the end, it is like amrit, sweet. So, like Dawai, which is kadwa at the beginning, but saves you from serious illness. Cancer patients come out of cancer, which is fantastic. I have known many cancer survivors who are doing very well. Similarly, yes, why is it difficult, Shikaji? Why is it difficult to use logic and buddhi? Because for long, we have been emotional. We have allowed our mind to control us. We are not been in charge. We have really not become full adults, and we are at the mercy of our desires, likes, dislikes. prejudices, preferences. So we have weakened our own buddhi. We are not exercising it. So you start exercising it, you will feel a joy. You will feel a mastery. You will feel control over your life and circumstances. You will win most of the time, and where you don't win, you will adjust in a very mature manner and accept defeat. But buddhi needs exercise. It's like a muscle. What you don't use, you lose. Doctors, medical science tells us. So our buddhi is latent. We have to awaken it and use it. Shikaji, do you agree? Shikha? Huh?
Yes, sir.
Oh.
Yes, what you explained, yes, it does make sense. But what happens to the past, what you have probably done, and today you suddenly revisit and think, what arrogance. I mean, there have been instances where I've told myself, because right now the position has changed, what I was and what I am today. Yeah. So relooking at the past and the actions, probably at that time, that was the best that happened. But today, if I had to do it, probably I wouldn't do it in the same manner.
Exactly. So relooking at the past is not for regretting, but for learning.
Yeah.
Take
and
the learning.
Many a times, you realize yourself, like I've said it to myself a couple of days back, saying it.
This is very important. In Dharma, you have to do Atmanirikshan, self-introspection. Question yourself. Could I have done better? Even if you have done well. So did I do something wrong? How can I prevent myself from doing it wrong? So two principles are forgive people their mistakes. You learn from your mistakes and don't repeat them. Because if you don't forgive other people, you are carrying the burden. A part of your buddhi is used in dislike, hate, fear. So keep a calm mind and a very strong mind, brain. Forgive, learn. And then look to the future. You see, the only thing we can do is action, karma. Karma is always in the future, not in the past. Wo ho gaya. We can learn, but always use it for the future. For example, in this COVID, we are learning many lessons. We are learning how to be thrifty, how to be more economical, more minimalist living style, reduce our unnecessary needs. And the world will have to learn environmental protection, use less energy, less carbon. So there's a lot of discipline that is required, both for our own good and the society's good. So self-criticism is more valuable than criticizing other people.
Yes, sir.
Good. Any other points?
Sir, may I say something? Sir, I think once we are talking about Dharma Sankat and resolving it, as you rightly said, when we follow one dharma and when we follow logic and we follow the higher dharma, then many a times we have to face some problems because of that, or maybe some kind of issues because of that. So I think it is whenever we want to be very specific about following the dharma or resolving the dharma sankats, we have to make ourselves as strong as possible. And following buddhi, as you rightly said, that following your logic, you have to exercise. You have to do it again and again. And if you use your buddhi again and again, then it becomes your habit. And also it makes you stronger, that it does not matter if someone gets angry with me for some time or for maybe ever at times. But I have to follow my dharma, so I have to follow my dharma. I mean, there is no choice.
There is one more point, the issue that you have raised. When we follow the higher dharma, we don't have to be unpleasant, aggressive. We don't have to be insulting.
Yes, sir.
Do whatever you do in a nice and sweet, sattvic manner. That the other party cannot feel that you are oppressing him, but he realizes the reason why you have to do it. So one of the qualities that the Gita talks about that we have to have high range, flexibility in our behavior, in our thinking, soft as a rose and hard as a diamond. We have to have that range, where necessary be very tough, uncompromising, ruthless, but where possible be soft and gentle with the same person. But when dharma is involved, don't give any concession. But later, you can make other ways of amends. So we don't have to be permanently unpopular and angry. I have seen many cases in my last 50 years, managers, people who have argued and fought with me 10, 20 years later, come back and say, sir, what you said was right, I was wrong, I kept arguing with you. So I think you should give people this opportunity to learn. And so for temporary period, you have to live with the ambiguity, uncertainty. But at night, sleep soundly. If you have done dharma, don't worry. Any consequence, you can take it. So there was a question on the chat box. Just now I saw, would you like to speak up?
Yes, sir. Myself, Amisha, sir. So my question is, since all of us react to different situations differently, so is it based on our intrinsic values or the experiences we have in our past?
Not clear. Can you speak a little louder, or can Bhavna put up the question to me?
Yes, sir. So I was saying that our first reaction to these dharma sankats, are these based on the intrinsic values that we have or the experiences we have had?
Mm-hmm.
So because,
you see,
knowing that, yes, sir.
We go back to the 4 purusharthas. The 2 things that affect your dharma, always threaten and make you do adharma, make you not follow the right dharma in a dharma sankat, is desire, kama, and artha. Right. The lure of money and the lure of enjoyment, these are the reasons why we don't follow the dharma. Right. Therefore, we have to control these in the situations where we are wrong and follow dharma.
Right. Right. Right, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
For example, in Lakshay's case, the desire to be popular with relatives, the desire to compromise and make peace with the wife, understandable. These are all part of our kama and artha. But you have to decide that infecting other people is not dharma.
Right.
You may come back because you already recovered, but COVID stays in the system for a while, and it can infect other people.
Definitely. Right, sir.
So let us talk a little bit about the next session. What topic would you like to cover in the next session?
Sir, just a second. Sir, one question I think we skipped when someone asked, acquiring PAR, public service or social service. That is the dharma sankat.
Sorry, not clear. Okay, can you say it again?
Acquiring public service or social service.
I think these are great potential dharma. Yes. In these 2, you can do great dharma. Social service, there is more dharma. Public service, where you are in government, sometimes there is temptation for corruption. Many people enter the IAS and other services initially with great idealism. But after some time, when they see politicians, ministers, MPs, their own seniors, so they, okay. There's a good suggestion from Rishi. He said that suggestions for the next topic, please put it in the chat box. That way, Bhavana can send it to me and I will. So I think the greatest danger is being in business. Business deals with money all the time. So that is why I have been doing this Dharma Pracharan in industry very strongly last 50 years, talking about values, culture in the corporation systems. So those who deal in money are most attracted to money. Second, those who deal with power, like in politics and in government, attracted to authority and its misuse. Even in the army and the armed forces, who are supposed to be highly honest, procurement is an area where there is dishonesty. There are cases of and so on. So I think we have to be Nishkama karma is the answer there. Which Sarthak is doing very well. Whatever donations, resources we get is for the people, for the Divyang, what we can do for them. In various ways, we are extending number of centers, services. So the NGO sector generally has the highest chance of success of Dharma. Business and politics have a lower chance, therefore they need good leadership. So among our political parties, there is one party which is highly honest and does not, and all the others have hierarchy. Even the Chinese Communist Party has corruption. So corruption is part of temptation. If the leaders, the top leaders and state level leaders are very honest, for their period they can establish. So this battle between Dharma and Adharma will continue to go on throughout the ages. They've been there in the past, they will be there in the future. That is why avatars are required. Avatar, we need not wait for God. Each one of us can be a small avatar to establish Dharma in our area. For example, Dr. Sumanji, in the entire early intervention group, you are the leader who establishes Dharma, not only financial Dharma, but all your people to have the value that we must take the best care of the child and the mother and the treatment, do the best, not just do enough, not chalta hai and go home. The temptation will be very much there. Between ease, comfort, relaxation. So to set high standards is your Dharma. But as EIC expands, it will be more difficult for you. So you need a team under you who have the same value. So Dharma is a continuous battle. Today we dealt with the battle within our own mind. It's also a battle within organizations, within communities, within, for example, Europe and America, along with India, Australia, Japan, is fighting a big adharma with China and Russia. The Chinese are aggressive in Indo-Pacific. They are taking land away from Philippines, Vietnam, smaller powers. They have committed genocide on the Uyghurs.
See, sir, generally we face Dharam Sankats during VIP management whenever we have events, sir.
Okay.
So suppose there are 5 bureaucrats with the same designation, then the challenge starts, like where to sit A, B, C, or D.
They can also be resolved. They can be resolved.
Sorry to interject here. The bigger Dharma, first Dharam Sankat should be when there are 5 people with different hierarchies. With the same hierarchy, that's a smaller Dharam Sankat. when you have X, A, B, C, D, E with various hierarchies, ideally they should all be treated as equal, right? That's where the bigger Dharam Sankat is. Because with more seniority, we are generally inclined to give more respect to the position than to the person. And that's the big essence of Dharam Sankat. With 5 people.
The more fundamental question, if some VIPs are highly immature and they quarrel about status, why do we invite them? What is this greed for VIPs? Why don't we rely more on our own strength and our goodwill and our work with our people? So gradually test out, find out who is a noble person who will adjust to any situation, who will not care the order of priority, and those who are highly bureaucratic and status conscious, and weed them out, even before you can judge, even before the function. So make a selection on that basis, not just the level of the person, but or in the interest of the conference, in the interest of Divyangs, put up with some of these problems. So the higher Dharma of the conference benefits, you should suffer minor insults and complaints from these people. Some of these people, for example, Shamutala madam had no problem. You are right, she was very helpful, very positive. There are some others who may have. We know 2 board members who had that problem. उनको जाने दो, बस. Preeti? All right, it is Ravi Kumar, yes. Hello there, calling from Hyderabad. Very good.
Thank you so much, sir.
Of course, of course.
Very insightful session. I really appreciate Sarthak for taking this meaningful Guruji's Jan.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
I know that you are a quiet observer, you are a knowledgeable observer, and you are allowing youngsters to participate and speak up.
You made my day with your blessings. Thank you so much, sir.
All right.
I think Atulji is not speaking.
I'm a learner today. I'm hearing everything. Yeah. My Dharam Sankat is when your Guruji is speaking, can I speak?
You can of course speak. You can of course speak. Today, I have been speaking only in gaps.
No, there were very interesting Dharam Sankats that came out. So that was very nice. Especially about the wife, and also it's like, when you equate Dharam Palan and Dharam Sankat, and yeah, there is a lot of knowledge there.
So was it useful to you? Did you get some insights confirmed?
Yes, very much. In fact, I'm glad the youngsters came up with some very good ones. One of the Dharam Sankats I had faced earlier, which I wrote in a book, was a case of sexual harassment where my boss was involved. So that was even worse, and I was in Dubai. And from a lady who filed a complaint, used to be in my team, and she was a call center agent, and the CEO of the company was harassing her, and she came and complained to me. So it was, it was one of those cases where you're not taught how to handle, and I was in a senior position myself. But then how do you handle a case against the CEO?
Okay, it's a very interesting case, very live case. So there are some guidelines. You go for justice. What is dharma?
Okay.
You have to stop this harassment of women. It's a big issue in corporations. Either their own employees or someone from outside, a client, a supplier. But at the same time, you talk gently to your CEO, tactfully. So this kind of complaint is coming. What should I do with it? In some way, give him a signal. But you must take the risk. For example, most recently, news has come out that the board of Microsoft threatened Bill Gates with an investigation and report for his relationship with a junior employee. He quietly resigned and left the board. His liaisons have been publicly known now why his wife divorced him.
Yeah.
So I think US corporations are getting very tough on this. Several CEOs have gone because their relationship with the secretary or some other junior employee, the board simply had to do it. And the ESG, environment, social, and governance groups are giving a financial backing to this. They will not invest their funds in companies which do not do gender justice as part of governance. So I think the answer is clear, Atul, that you must come on the side of dharma, but do it as tactfully as possible with the minimum damage to you.
Let me give you the outcome for that. I did take it up. I went to the board, and the board then summoned the CEO. And it was after that, it was very clear, either the CEO stays or I stay, because we both couldn't have stayed anyway.
Okay.
And then the CEO went and asked for forgiveness. He cried and all that bit, and the board forgave him. So then I had to, actually, I lost my job because of that. I had to get out of Dubai.
Very good. So you have done your dharma by taking it to the board.
Yeah.
The board have done that dharma by calling the CEO and confronting him with this data. And his behavior gives two more principles, which I'd like to mention. I mentioned before, if somebody who did adharma truly has paschatap, regret, truly he acknowledges and cries and so on, and does prayashchit, guarantee that he will not do this in the future, make amends, then you can let him stay. but you can let him stay with a strict watch for the next 3 to 6 months. The second time, he has to go. A board should not let you go. The whistleblower should not go. The CEO should go. The first time, he may be pardoned. Kshama virasya bhushnam. We can pardon people, take them sincerely that they are repenting. But if somebody is too clever and a badmaas, who can act as if he is crying and revert to old behavior, the message now I tell top people is that you are very smart, but the organization is always smarter than you.
Yeah.
But sir, Atulji is telling he has to leave the job. Atulji, I'm right.
No, he didn't leave the job. No.
No, I did. I had to leave I actually had to leave the job and flee the country. I mean, with my family, then we moved to Kenya because in Dubai, the job is linked to your visa anyway.
The company did not ask you to go.
No, they did. Finally, the CEO asked me, look, they'll give me some 3 months package, etc., but I should be leaving. So I left the whole place. Dubai is slightly, it's a very flashy place.
Backward in this thing, yeah.
Yeah, it's not the let's say where the justice really happens.
If it is a country like Dubai and the CEO like that, Dr. Agarwal, then leaving is a better solution.
Yeah, and the CEO was the Dubai person himself. I mean, he was an Emirati, so I was fighting a local, so I did not have a chance anyway. So
I think you must pick your battle carefully.
Yeah,
you should not fight adharma everywhere, but actually for us, our Dharma Sankat, Dharma Yuddha should be always in our Janmabhoomi, Bharat. Why do we want to go somewhere else and fight for it? There are enough issues in Bharat. Bharat mat chodo. Idhar rakho, idhar jang karo, dharm ke liye. So I welcome him back from Dubai. India has gained in the process. The brain drain has been reduced.
This was God's message that Atul Bhatnagarji should come back to India and help India. So this was his means so that he could enable India.
The boss is not so benign. Bhagwan ka bhi ho sakta hai.
But he went to Kenya.
He went to Kenya. He did not go
to Kenya.
No, but that would have triggered.
The point I am making is that when dharma is at stake, you should risk your job. And in fact, it will be better in the long run because your reputation will be compromised that you stayed in so-and-so company where the CEO did this and nothing happened. It will not look good in your CV.
In fact, I have no regrets of losing my job.
Exactly.
In fact, as Siddharth was just saying, God gave me other ways to express myself. I, in fact, wrote this book, a chapter out of my life.
Okay.
The chapter that I have written out here is
about this case study.
Yes, this is the case study
let me tell you, 30 years ago, some of the MBAs from IIM Calcutta and IIM Ahmedabad declined job offers from companies which were dealing in liquor, cigarettes, these kind. So they don't want jobs. So even before joining, you resign. So you have to choose. So your choice of a company should be not only on financial grounds, but also on moral grounds. Work for a good company, a dharmic company. Don't put your intelligence to use, prostitute it for adharma.
Correct.
Talent is very important and we should use it for good purpose. Yeah. So I'm sure in Sarthak, we should not create this Dharma Sankat for any employee. That is our Dharma. I think we can go on till midnight. This subject is so interesting. I'll close the session whenever you want to.
I think.
Bhavna, time kya ho raha hai? 5:15.
Yeah, it is more than an hour, sir.
Finalize the topic for next meet, sir. Right now, we are only having one suggestion, and the topic is how to stick with personal values in Kali Yuga.
Kali Yuga, okay. So let us take this topic. It's a beautiful one. Dharma in Kali Yuga. That is our next.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Okay.
So we will meet, Third Saturday next month.
Next month, yes.
Same time.
Yeah. July 3rd Saturday. Yeah. All right. Bye-bye, all of you. Siddharth, any comments? Anyone?
Thank you, sir. Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Thank you.
Namaskar.
Namaskar.